This video will show you how to do the first tutorial in the Game Maker tutorials. Open Game Maker. And I'm just going to ignore this message. I'm going to go to tutorials. I'm going to click My First Game. And I can just save this anywhere I want. I can put it on my desktop if I wanted to. And I'll save it as My First Game. It will ask me, the selected tutorial is not installed. Would you like to download and install now? Yes. And it will download and install it. And you can ignore the middle window and expand this part of the screen so that you can just read comfortably what it's telling you here. And it basically will walk you through creating sprites and inserting an object, creating a room, and animating that object. And the object is going to be a clown, and we're going to surround it by a wall of other objects, small boxes. So we're going to click on next, and on page 2 it tells you what these different things are. What's an object, what's a sound, what's a control, and I'll be telling you what is what as we move through. So first of all, sprites are these images that could be animated. We're going to have a sprite for the clown and a sprite for the wall, and we're going to create these sprites. So in this tutorial here will walk us through this. So we're basically, easiest thing to do is you can right click on sprites and click create sprite, and that will open this window here that you're seeing. And what we're going to do is we're going to name this SPR_clown, and we're going to click load sprite, and then we have to navigate to where our resources are. So I'm just going to go to this PC, and I'm going to go to my local disk C, and I'm going to go to users, and I'm going to go to my username, and then there's going to be an app data folder. If you don't see this folder here, you need to open Windows Explorer, and you need to go to view, and you need to check this checkbox, the hidden items checkbox, right? If this box is unchecked, you're not going to be able to see the app data folder. When you go to the local disk and users, you're not going to see the app data. So what you need to do is, in order to see the app data, open Windows Explorer, view, and check this checkbox with the hidden items so that it shows that. And I'm going to click again load sprite. I'm going to go to this PC, local disk C, users, my username, app data, local, Game Maker Studio, tutorials, and there's my first game. So then I'm going to double click, catch the clown assets. I can double click that. So I'm just going to open this. That's going to be my sprite. We selected the clown PNG, which is what the tutorial is telling us to do. And the next thing that we need to do is, we're not done yet. We should also now set the sprite origin to center. So we're going to click center right here, and that's going to center the origin of the sprite. And now we're done with this. We can say OK. So we have created a sprite for my clown. For the clown, we're going to double click this, and we're going to click on the modify mask. Okay, and the way we're going to change the collision mask to be the full image, and what we're going to do is we're going to click full image, and we're going to select the ellipse, and we're going to click OK to that, and that is my collision mask for the clown. We're going to click OK, and now we're going to create a sprite for my wall as well. I'm going to right click, create a sprite. I'm going to call this SPR_wall, and I'm going to click load sprite and select the wall PNG, open. And for the wall, we're going to leave as is. And we're not going to change the origin, and we're not going to change the collision mask. We're going to say OK to this. So now my clown and wall are set up. And these are my sprites. And we're going to click next. And sounds are added similarly to how we added the sprites. We're going to right click, create sounds. We're going to click on this button here to look for the sound. Again, you have to go to this PC, local disk, users, your username, app data, local. You're going to go to Game Maker Studio, tutorials, my first game, assets, and we're going to click the bounce, open that thing, and this is going to be the SND_bounce. That's going to be the name of that sound. I'm going to click OK, and we're going to make another one. Right click, create sound, SND_click. I'm going to click on the button to look for that. That's the click one. Open, and then OK it. And that's basically it. The bounce and the click for the sounds for this tutorial here. Page 4, click next. Now we're going to create objects and instances and have events and actions. So objects are the templates from which we're going to create instances. We're going to have two objects, one for the clown and one for the wall, two objects. And then from these objects we can make many instances. So from the object wall we're going to make many instances to surround our room, and then inside between those we're going to place one clown which is going to bounce around. So one instance of a clown surrounded by many instances of a wall. So that's an example of what an object and an instance is. And events are things that are happening. One event is a create event. That is when an instance is created. So basically as soon as it comes into existence in the game, something can start happening to it, or it can start behaving in a certain way. And mouse event is another example of an event. So when you click, that's an example of an event. When you press a specific key, that's an example of an event. And when we detect these events, we can perform certain actions on our objects. How we're going to do that? Well, we're going to click next to go to page 6. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create an object, and that object is going to be the wall, and we're going to add a sprite to it as well. So we're going to go to objects, right click, create object. We're going to call this obj_wall. For its sprite, we're going to choose the sprite wall. And we're going to follow the directions of this thing here. We're going to mark this as solid, and that's basically it. We're going to say OK to that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do another one for the clown. Okay, and note we do not make the clown object solid. So what we're going to do is right click, create object. This one's going to be obj_clown. I'm going to load the sprite of the clown to it for it, and I'm going to leave it as is, and I'm going to say OK to that. So double check, and there we go. So this is it. I created 2 objects, and I associated an image or a property with each object. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click next. I'm going to create an event, which is going to be that as soon as the clown is created or comes into existence in our game, it appears, what is going to happen is we're going to make it move in some random direction. How we're going to do that? We're going to double click the obj clown, and we're going to add an event, which is going to be the create event. And to that create event, we're going to drag and drop a move, and we're going to tell this thing to move in every possible direction as per my tutorial instructions here. And I'm also going to double click this to change the speed to 4. And then I'm going to say OK. So this object is going to start moving with a certain speed as soon as it's created, as soon as it comes into existence. It's going to start in some direction, moving in some direction. I'm going to click OK to that. And you can see this thing, event already created. That's on page 7 of 15. Click next. Now we're going to add a collision event. We're going to open the clown, double click the object clown, and now we're going to add another event, this time a collision event, and tell it what to do when it collides, when the clown collides with the wall. And what we want to do is, well, we want it to bounce, right? And how do we want it to bounce? Let's double check. We're going to leave it not precisely and against solid objects, so we're not going to change any of those settings. In the clown, now select the main one tab, and we're going to add the sound, and the sound is going to be the bounce sound that we created, and we're going to say OK. So it's going to bounce once, play the sound once, bounce against solid objects, and play a sound. That's what's going to happen when our clown collides with a wall. And that's basically okay for that. And we can go to page 9 of 15. Now we need to add a mouse event. So again, we're going to go to the cloud, and we're going to add a mouse event this time. And what kind of a mouse event are we going to be adding? We're going to select a left pressed event. Now the next thing to do is click the score tab, and we're going to click set score and drag and drop it. What we're going to do is we're going to do a 10, and we're going to click the relative. So that means that the score is going to increase itself by 10 every time. We're going to say OK to that. We're going to go back to the main tab, main 1 tab, and we're going to drag and drop play sound again. And this time we're going to play the sound click, and then OK that, so that when we click, it plays a click sound. And then the next thing that we need to do is from the move tab, we're going to drag and drop the jump to random, and we're going to leave it as default like this, and then just press OK. And last, we're going to say we're going to tell it to restart moving again, and tell it to move in every possible direction. This time we're going to say 0.5, and we're going to click the relative so that it starts moving faster every time you click it in every possible direction, and then say OK to that. And that's all the actions we're going to do to the mouse event. I'm going to say OK to this, and then we can go to the next. We're going to add a room. We're going to right click, create a room, and the room size is going to be 640 by 480. We're going to name the room main, and we're going to go to objects, and it's 32 by 32. The currently selected object, which is currently the wall, we want to select the clown. Now we're going to go and add the clown by clicking inside of the room. I'm going to go back to the Objects tab, click to select the object, and I'm going to select the wall, and I'm going to click around. If you place it in the wrong place, you can drag it, place it in the right place. Alright, you'll get it better at it eventually, as I just did. And then fill the room with these walls. Don't worry if they overlap. There you go. You have a clown, and there's a wall around it made up of these boxes. And that's basically what we're supposed to do for this. And click on the top left checkbox right here, and next. At this point, we can try to test the game. We can just press the play button, run the game, and there it is. There's your clown going in some random direction, bouncing around. You can click on it and it'll start bouncing further, and every time you click on it, it starts moving faster and it jumps to some random direction, and that's exactly how we wanted it to behave. The next thing is we're going to add a background. So we're going to go to our room and we're going to go to backgrounds, and we're going to choose a background. No background. So what we have to do is we're going to go to backgrounds and we're going to have to find the background PNG. Right click, create background, load background, and open the background PNG, and we're going to say just OK to that. We're going to give it a name of back main, BCK underscore main. So that's the name. And now I'm going to go back to my room, backgrounds. I'm not going to tell it to draw background color, because this time I'm going to tell it to use a back main, and that's going to be the background for my room. So I can run that. And there you go. So that is pretty much as far as I want to show you this tutorial.